God damn it!
Peace, 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 family. I hope you're all doing well. I just want everybody to know that I learned that I really don't like Mercury. Oh my goodness. Like, I had a real clear example of how my natal retrograde Mercury in Gemini works better during a Mercury retrograde than it does when Mercury is not in retrograde. And so I have realized that I have been mixing up Taurus this whole time. I just kept wanting to say Taurus new moon, Taurus full moon. It was both. It was both. Scorpio done left the building. Sorry, my Scorpio family. I don't know why I kept doing that. It was just driving me crazy because in my mind, I knew it was a Scorpio new moon, but I wanted it to be a Scorpio, a Taurus full moon and a Taurus new moon. And I'm just like, you know what? So I'm just going to chop this up to Mercury fucking with me. Mercury, I don't need your disrespect in my life right now. Oh, anyways, because y'all know I'm freaking be on here for 800 hours, yapping my jaws. So I am just going to jump right on in. I'm going to try to make this fast, family. I promise you. I be trying to get better each and every time, but I feel like the more information, examples I can give, is always the better. I don't have any updates by the time I post this. The live that I'm doing with Miss Tierra with the Day of Royalty will have been over. That's actually this coming Tuesday, but you guys won't see this for a while now. So if you want to catch the replay, you could do that. Support is always helpful if you don't get to catch us that night. But outside of that, I don't think I have anything else to report at the time. So I'm just going to jump right in. So new moons are a time to set new intentions, specifically with things around Scorpio themes like fear, transformation, sharing yourself, opening up to others, overcoming anything that has been holding you back. So you can be assessing people and how you share with others, how you share values with others. Scorpio is about healing. It's an alchemist, a magician. Because of the conjunction, this suggests you could be looking for a healer, tarot reader, astrologer, because Scorpio rules esoteric fields. It also rules our deepest secrets, things that are unconsciously hidden. These practices are best to help with those, any of those topics. However, coming out of the Gemini Sagittarius eclipse, and this being the beginning of the eclipse, so we are family. We are officially in eclipse season. By the time you guys get this, it will be November. So make sure you check out your November horoscopes if you haven't already. It's going to give you all the feels, everything you need to know. It will prepare you for the next few months with the eclipse season. But this new moon is going to catapult us into this Taurus eclipse. And we are officially wrapping up the Gemini Sagittarius eclipse. So we don't want to forget that education is power, right? That's the one thing that Gemini and Sagittarius rule is education. And the more you know, the better. So this is about knowledge of self. People could actually even be studying like astrology, tarot, just because like they want to go deeper than just counseling. I think the one thing that I feel I found with counseling is it's great for surface level stuff, right? Because that is a man made process, right? The way they have it, the way it's set up for school, it's not like what you're gonna get when you first of all, when you learn the power within yourself, and when you learn how to use those tools to help yourself. So, you know, doing counseling and psychology classes even are really great tools to have to help you heal yourself. Um, because as you know, even within those two themes, like counseling and psychology, that is hidden knowledge and information as well. So we got to get to the truth of that. Scorpio also rules being vulnerable, trust, and safety. So people may be working on building trust and safety in the relationships. Um, Security is important to Scorpios. You might be hesitant to trust at this time because you don't know who to trust, or you don't trust yourself or your own abilities or others' abilities to support you, to allow you vulnerability, right? And so learning how to be vulnerable. If you haven't checked out my Venus and Scorpio video, I would definitely go back and check that video out, because I feel like I broke down that so well when it comes to like relationships and how we relate with others. Um, Not knowing who to trust your secrets with, not knowing who you can get involved with. So before you become one with someone, you'll want to know the limitations, blockages, and doing a deep dive into what you're overcoming in your life and your past for the future. So what are you overcoming in your current life and situation? What are you learning in your current life and situation? And what are you understanding about your past within these current themes for the future moving forward? That is such an eclipse statement right there. Because the South Node represents the eclipse. The South Node represents the past, even past lives. And I'll be talking more about that. You'll hear what did I do? The Sagittarius closing of the cycles. I did a whole video on that, and that'll actually be coming out Tuesday if I'm not mistaken. So listen out for that, because that's going to give you more about that South Node. What did we learn? What did we break down and all that? And then you have the North Node, and then you're experiencing this in real time, which is your current. The North Node is your future, sorry. And then you're experiencing this in this current time, which covers the current situation and how you're understanding how you're moving forward with all the new information you're learning, right? And so we could really, really, really be assessing that. And that might require some counseling, or sitting down with a tarot reader or an astrologer to really get some key points on how to expand on that. Okay. It's also a psychological sign as well. So this could be a time when you work through your fears, limitations, and blocks. You can be doing a lot of healing behind closed doors. So this is your shadow work. And again, family, this is your alchemy. This is when you are the guru. You've become the person who teaches astrology, tarot. You understand intuitively this thing. We are alchemists, right? We gotta own that and claim that. I remember when I was going through my shadow phase, and I think I've talked about this in other videos, and I had went to prison, and I had this really, really dark phase time that I was going through. And in that moment, I didn't understand that I was doing alchemy. I was depressed. I felt worthless. I didn't feel like I was the best mother. I had done some things in my life that at that point that I just was not proud of, right? These are all themes that we are embarrassed to say about, talk about out loud. And so a lot of the times people will not have these conversations out loud, and you'll typically tend to sit in the dark with these things, or sit with these things unconsciously. And depending on how far you let it get, you can push this stuff so far down that you become oblivious to it. Meanwhile, when Scorpio season comes, it bubbles up. There will be things, especially eclipse season, mixing the Scorpio with eclipse season. It's going to bubble up inside of you, some of these things where you can find yourself acting out in ways that you wouldn't normally, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is to show you what is time to deal with, heal, and move past so that you can move forward, right? You got to release that stuff. And I had a very real experience with that. I was also going through a very nasty child custody battle with my son's father. It was horrible. It was one of the hardest times of my life. And it wasn't just a year or two. Like, this was mixed with my Saturn return. So it happened about 27, 28. And then I don't even remember how old I was actually when I was going through that stuff with my son, but it was kind of almost like I had got to a point where I thought I had some light, I thought I had some clarity, and then my son's father came with this double whammy, and that happened for 5 years. So it was just a really long stretch of BS for me. And I got tired of suffering. I had spent 10 years in counseling, and that helped me. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot out of that 10 years. I really, truly did. Not to mention, I was also in school for those same topics. So I took my community associates in counseling, and my bachelor's. I have some psych classes and education and background and understanding. And that helped a lot too. It helped me add to the understanding of counseling, how it works. I also learned I absolutely did not want to be a counselor or a psychologist, by the way. It was just too boxed in. That's how I remember thinking of it, is that there was no way out of that situation. It kind of reminded me of the system, the way they have set up around AA. It's like, so you just tell people that they have to continue doing these 7 steps over and over again, and like that's the only option. Like, that's how I began to feel about psychology and counseling. It was like, but where's the, like, how do I, but I'm still not free. It's almost like being literally, it's magic, right? It traps you inside your body of the situation that you're in, or the situation that you're going through, right? And what I like about Scorpio is Scorpio counseling, because it's so esoteric. This is also like the phobias and stuff where you get some real hands-on. And that's the part that I was missing with all of this stuff. I was like, okay, but so now how do I do it? It was just like this ring around the rosies of bullshit that kind of kept you confined to having to always go to somebody else for help. And that part was the part that I really didn't get, and I struggled with a lot after a while. And so I began to do further research. Actually, that research found me, I think, because I had hit that path. So a lot of the times your energy will show you, will show up for you. So like when you have experiences, like you've changed your life, right? You've accomplished some things in your life, and without even having to look, but yet you know that that's what you want. People find you, they reach out to you for that specific thing that you want. Energetically, that is a confirmation that you have graduated in some area of your healing, and it brings you in the people that you need, which is phenomenal and such a scorpionic energy, right? And I think right around this time, I kept searching for answers, trying different things, And I found this radio station that I listened to for years that was like, what was the name of that radio station? Conscious, woke, conscious conversations about the truth. I'm so totally messing that up. I know she's not on anymore. She used to come on at 5 a.m. every morning. She was a tourist too, by the way. And it was beautiful. She changed my life. That channel changed my life. So anybody who she had come on that station, coming on there talking about real conversations, the truth behind all the lies, well, my God, that just blew my whole life out of proportion in the best way possible. And I started learning about more like ancient astrology and ancient Egyptian things, and just like just so much. It really broke through that veil that I kept feeling like there's nothing. So learning real magic, like manifesting in real time, and changing your life using these tools to wake up your third eye. This is when you begin to understand about chakras and the crystals and the stones, and doing your rituals and all these things here, and how that changes your life. And so I had to learn all those things. And so I claim that alchemy role. All my other healers and people in here working towards that, you claim this as well. If you are into astrology, if you listen to this station, you claim your alchemist position, and you continue to do magic to learn how to heal yourself. Okay. So it rules shared resources and investments. These are the things you share with others, like money, time, energy, and hard times. When I think of Scorpio, because Scorpio comes after the seventh house, which is marriage, contracts, agreements, right? Once you get to Scorpio, now you're sharing everything. You know, this is a blood contract, a soul contract, and those come with hard times, because Scorpio is till death do us part. That means we ain't breaking up no matter what. So now you have to have an understanding. This is why you have to evolve and you're growing, and be mindful of who you marry, and understanding why marriages don't work, especially in the system that it's in, right? To have a written contract with that's another spell, that's another magic, how they undo our natural ancient knowledge, right? And so you really, really, really have to be careful and be mindful that when you go into a marriage or a union with somebody, that you guys are sharing the values, time, energy, and know that ultimately, you, with that understanding, that people are going to go through hard times. It's inevitable. It's a part of life. Nobody is perfect. And without hard times, you don't learn or evolve. And so you have to be smart enough, right? Evolved enough to know the difference between somebody being trifling, fucked up, dumb, and stupid, as opposed to they just going through their shadow work, right? They got to get through that. They got to do the work, right? So that's just another avenue that I thought I would bring up, because I thought it was super, super important to think about. And then Mars will be opposing this new moon. So we might find at this time that we are not on the same page with someone when it comes to energy and finances. So there can be issues in partnerships, not just romantic, but banks, other people's money, and financial institutions. So other people's money, so people not being able to pay you. Banks, I think, is fairly explainable. And then, your bills. We can see things about this coming out on the world stage in a pretty major way, all the way through to December. Jeez. Scorpio rules security, so this could be cyber attacks. Where is your power? You know, who are you giving your power to? So if you go to the bank and ask for money, you give your power away, right? So you really, again, you have to understand that magic is being done for real, family. And this is why it's important to get past all the education that they give us, because they really are rocking us to sleep. But I was watching this very short video. It's very short, sweet, and to the point, about why you don't want to put your money in the bank. That was the name, that was the title of the video that I watched. It was only about 8 minutes and some change. And it was very interesting that the guy was talking about how he had worked in the bank for very many years, and he gave a few different tips on why you don't want to put your money in the bank. And and ultimately, right, like, we know that we have to live in between both worlds. So I'm not going to sit up here and say do what your parents did with the putting your money in the box in the top closet underneath all the clothes with a brick on it. I'm not I'm not going to do that. Right, but just to make sure that you have some kind of security. So when we're talking about security with Scorpio energy and this Scorpio season, you really, really, really want to understand, family. First and foremost, you have to educate yourself on these systems. You have to know how they work. So when you put your money in the bank, you want to make sure that the bank is giving you all the benefits you and rewards you can get from them. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have to understand that these banks don't have an obligation to us. When you see your online bank account numbers, know that that's just digital. That is a digital number. That does not mean that that's necessarily what's in the bank. What does that mean, Keish? That means that the money that you put in your bank, they use for their own loans to do what they got to do in this country, right? They are using your money to do that. So in that very same way, you need to be smart and making sure that you're using money to leverage and do the same thing. That's why it's so important to invest. And hopefully we are past our fears with all that now, with all that has going on. Hopefully you've learned and took on some smaller educational things to learn about investing, and hopefully you've learned how investing works. The more I learn about investing, the more I'm opened up to how this country really runs, which is really fucking bonkers. But at the same time, you know, we're at war. So by any means necessary, family, you got to do what you got to do. So just be smart about how you're using your money, okay? And making sure that you have several different ways that your money is bringing in additional money at all given times, because these institutions are not obligated to treat you like what they be selling on a regular basis. Okay, so what has happened for you back in April? That's when we had the last full moon. Which, by the way, family, if you go to my YouTube page, I've been trying to make sure that I keep the current videos for the last full moon or new moon, whatever it is. So for this full moon is in Scorpio. I mean, new moon, I'm still doing it. Jesus Christ. I will have the last Scorpio full moon playing at the top of the channel. That will be the video playing. So I always like to go back and listen to that video to see what was going on for me, and really be able to track to see, am I growing in my process? Am I learning new things? Like, I'm always challenging myself to do better, family. So I hope that in that sense, that video is helping you guys do the same thing if you so choose to listen to it. All right. So Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, and Mars entered Scorpio on the 30th. So it'll be well in Scorpio at the time of this full moon, as well as there's a stellium in Scorpio, making Mars very important at this time. Now, I will be doing another video separate to this on Mars and Scorpio alone, because I think it's important to have the conversation. But you know, Mars, this could be marching and protesting, more of that stuff. You may be asking, what do you need to overcome? What area of life are you struggling with or have secrets that you need to let go of? There can be new opportunities coming in, but you have to let go of whatever's keep holding you back. Which is exactly what Scorpio rules. So this is the best time to do it. It's the garbage, it's the waste. Literally, this is the shit you put out. So your number two, this is what Scorpio rules. It rules your digestive system, recycling, even how the digestive system works. Sorry. So it takes the nutrients of what it needs and it flushes out and lets go of what it doesn't need. So flushing your digestive system so that we can see the things that are playing out on our personal life, and we can see these things playing out on our personal life and on the world stage. So death and transformation is just a natural process here. Something literally could be coming to death or figuratively. You definitely want to check to see where this is happening in your chart, because that's the area you'll be transforming. And if you're feeling scared about overcoming something, you'll get the power to overcome any obstacles and find solutions, because Scorpio rules detecting and finding and searching for the truth. Let's see. Uranus is opposite this new moon. This can be revelation, surprising, shocking secrets coming out. Because this is what Scorpio kind of rules the grit, this is the type of sex that is, what are they, BDSM, all that power and control stuff. This is child pornography, sexual abuse, manipulation with sex, transgender. Because Scorpio rules the feminine organs, gender changes here, transgender, the gay community. So we could see some stuff coming out about all these here things. Drug, sex trafficking, just some very dirty, dark secrets here can be coming out. Uranus is a high power, so downloads from the universe, but also like software downloads and upgrades. This could be things coming out around who you give your money to, electronic errors with the bank. Some companies may announce that they have run out of cash and they're closing. Foreclosures, businesses closing, economic issues, bank issues, financial things. These are all things that can change how we make money, what we buy, and how we invest. So just be prepared for that. These are all your digital currencies, Bitcoin. I don't know why I'm having a blank, but Bitcoin, all those digital currency. These things could be coming into question now, or we could see major changes around these themes. There could be a financial agreement or alliance with another country that comes to light, which, by the way, I think they had mentioned something about we paid Afghanistan something like $68,000 of some BS. But that's because Venus is in Sagittarius, which rules long distance countries, cultures, things like that. So we can see more stuff about the borders coming out, whatever's been going on with that. They can come out with some secrets about what's going on with that, or just people coming to this country overall in general. I watched this other guy, his name is Neil. I think he lives in London. And he be telling the truth too. Like he's putting people out there. He be out in the streets of London, just like showing how many businesses have closed. He's like, these are all the things that they're not telling you about. So all these things can be coming to the light now. I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anything else, but I think that's about it. So some secrets in relationships can come to light. So again, gay, transgender things, just because that's also been a super big topic. So your significant other could be coming out with these things. Somebody in your family could be coming out, literally, or it's just an affair, you know. Unfortunately, this is just what this energy represents. And it's not all bad, family. It's just the Scorpio is heavily, it rules the underworld. So typically it's always weighs on the heavier energies, the more intense energies, but just know that these are ways that the universe force us to change. So it's gonna, and it's eclipse season, so it's gonna be times fucking 30. You know, but just remember, like, this shit's coming out, it's coming to light because it's time for you to change something in that area of your life, okay? Or some area in your life. All changes come in, not necessarily just to change the way you were relating with other people, but you know, this could help you change all areas of your life. It really, really, really depends on where this is happening in your chart. So just be open-minded about it. Try not to let these things get to you. Stay grounded, be prepared, educate yourself. Educate yourself. Make sure you're following a bunch of different people who are giving you some tea on, you know, what this economy breakdown, shutdown, possible, you know, could be bringing. And you know, stay alert, stay aware. All right. So Uranus just shakes things up. You know, this could shake up the financial system. That's going to change what we believe in, our values, how we make money, what we buy. I'm pretty sure I just said all of that. So, you know, Saturn is direct and will square the sun. So what was happening towards the end of October? You'll be breaking free from that at this time. It's going to shine a light on something that you didn't know. And this could be also could be trusting what you feel, really, really evolving. Like you could have hit a pinnacle that you've been going through a bunch of tumbles and ups and downs. And at this time, you are getting in a massive amount of awakening, upliftment, transformation into the new, where maybe you have been working on all this stuff all this time, right? You're hip, like you're on it. You know, you got your projects, you're doing A, B, and C. You've been trying to find your soul tribe. You're out there connecting and networking. You're out there trying to find other streams of income. And maybe it's been working, but it's been slow. You know, and this could be your time when things really start to pick up for you, like all that work you put in. You can see even around relationships, you know, y'all been going through the heat. It's been hard times is upon us, family. And y'all was sitting down brainstorming, like, all right, how are we going to deal with this? What can we do? What businesses can we start? What projects can you start with your significant other? Like, how are you going to come together with money? Like, let's just sit down and work 3 months straight and not get a break, and then we're going to take that money and do what with it. And you get this overwhelming ability, acknowledgement, clarity, light, to, you know, to take that whatever it is that you've been working on to help come through to fruition. All right. Then Mars will join Saturn, and Mars wants to take action and Saturn wants to block things. But again, this could also be you taking action, but making sure that you're staying on point and you're not rushing. This is step-by-step process, right? Uranus adds to the mix as well, as we have 6 planets in fixed signs. So I actually think 3 of those planets are going to be in Scorpio, as I mentioned in the beginning, with the stellium in Scorpio. And so this is slow to change. It could be frustrating, but change nonetheless. So forcing us to do for self. I think that is the theme. I really should name this video forcing us to do for self. So on the positive of fixed signs, once they do get ready to do stuff, they get it done. And they're all in until it's done. They get things done. They don't give up. And they're manifestors. Earth, water, they manifest stuff with this. So this Taurus full moon coming up is going to be great because it's going to bring in a manifestation of things that you've been working on. And I think that that's amazing. I am, quite frankly, really, really excited about this. I'm looking forward to all of it, good and bad. I'm here for it. I signed up for this shit. This is my time. I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for this. So I hope that you found this information helpful. Peace, family.